Hello everyone, Brian here. Welcome to another edition of Abuse Your Delusion. Today we're going to be talking about how hateful comments posted on atheist YouTube videos never hurt atheists and only help us. There are a variety of atheists out there who post videos on YouTube. We all have our different personalities, we all have our different approaches. And that's what makes it all so fun and interesting and entertaining. Some of my favorite YouTube atheists include Dusty Smith, also known as the People's Atheist, Dark Matter 2525, God is Imaginary, and of course, The Amazing Atheist. The one thing that all atheists who post videos on YouTube have in common is when you visit atheist YouTubers' channels and look at their videos, in the comments section, there are always hateful remarks posted by people who are supposedly Christians, who post things like, "You are a faggot," "You are a cocksucker," and other homophobic remarks, "You're going to hell," and racial slurs, and perhaps worst of all, threaten physical violence. But I would like to know, those of you who do things like this, do you really think you're making us angry? Do you really think you're making us afraid? Of course not. In fact, we laugh at you. We make fun of you. We post comments in response to your comments that show how stupid we think you are. We talk about you on our Facebook pages. And if we have things like a block TV show, we make fun of you there. And why are we not afraid? Why are we not angry? Because if we have, as atheists, come to a point where we are comfortable enough and educated enough in our beliefs to post on YouTube and other places for potentially millions of people to see, it is because we are not afraid. We know we're going to receive negative comments. We know there are going to be remarks that are going to be hateful and mean and horrible. We expect it. So you're not getting us riled up. You're just making us laugh. And do you actually think that there are any of us who, when we see these comments, actually say to ourselves, "You know, you're right. I am a cocksucking faggot. I am a queer. I am a moron. I need to get down on my knees and pray to Jesus Christ to forgive me of my sins"? Of course not. So you are not negatively affecting us as the YouTube bloggers negatively in any way. Did you ever, though, think about the impact you are having on other viewers? Do you honestly think anyone who is a Christian or affiliated with any other religion, who's perhaps questioning their faith, or someone who's not affiliated with any particular religion, who's coming on to YouTube or other sources looking for answers to help them formulate their beliefs, do you honestly think that when they see an atheist post a reasonable, well thought out argument and have it met with hateful, hurtful, nasty remarks, do you think that any of those people have ever said to themselves, "Well, I wasn't sure if I wanted to be a Christian before, but now that I see this atheist being called a cocksucker and a faggot and other things like that, I'm definitely going to be a Christian now"? Of course not. But look at it also from another perspective. You might actually be helping those people who are on the fence, those people who are questioning their faith, actually decide to come over to our side. You see, when we become atheists, it is typically because we have examined all sides of the argument. We have examined all belief systems, and we have found them lacking. In many cases, we have been Christians or Muslims or whatever else ourselves, me included. I was a Christian for much of my youth. Dusty Smith was a Christian for 30 years. But we have gone out and we have examined all sides of the issue. We have thoroughly studied these things. We have read the Bible. We have read the Quran. And we have found all these belief systems lacking for one reason or another. And then if we're really using critical thinking, we also realize that we cannot find that there is actually a God. We cannot prove that he exists. So taking all these things into account, this is how we arrive at being atheists. So when we post videos or other memes on the internet, we have logical, reasoned, well thought out arguments at our disposal. So there is nothing you can throw at us that we cannot counter with a reasoned, well thought out argument. But Christians often do not have this ability to do the same thing. Because oftentimes you will find that religious people know very little about their own religion. And they, time and time again, fail to win a debate with an atheist. They either start posting hateful remarks, or in other cases, they are unwilling to admit that they've lost the argument, so they just keep making the same arguments over and over and over again. Or they just say, well, I still believe what I believe. Jesus loves you, all that kind of stuff. Of course, there is the rare percentage that will actually admit defeat and walk away with some level of their dignity. But most religious people in a debate with an atheist will either just keep repeating the same talking points and the same memes over and over and over again because they will not admit that they have lost the argument, or they resort to cheap insults. When a person is trying to decide how they're going to feel, what their belief system is going to be, what do you think might happen when these people who are seeking out information see reasonable, well thought out, logical arguments by atheists versus religious people who cannot bring a substantial counter argument to the table and are defeated repeatedly? What do you think is the effect? People see this, and they often are probably, in some cases, convinced to become atheists. They are convinced that we have the correct line of thinking. So, however you lose the debate, if you lose the debate time and time again, there are going to be people out there who are going to say, well, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel before, but I keep seeing these atheists putting out these very well thought out arguments, these very well thought out, logical, scientifically based theories and information, and I keep seeing religious people defeated in their arguments one way or another, including defeated because they are hurling insults. And it's obvious. If you have nothing to say, if you cannot counter a well-reasoned, thought-out argument, and it makes you mad, then you might resort to insults because you have nothing left. So, rather than be angry with people who post hateful comments on YouTube, we should, as atheists, probably say thank you, because these people never, ever hurt our cause. And in fact, they might and do actually help our cause. So thank you to all you out there who post hateful remarks, because you are probably in some way, shape, or form helping to make more atheists. So good job. Well, that's it. If you like my video, please favorite it. Please subscribe to my channel. And I will see you again soon. Thank you for watching. This has been another edition of Abuse Your Delusion.